Hi, everyone. This is Lauren Chulgin, senior producer for the Document Team. And we released our first season, The List, just a few days ago. And then pretty soon after, we got some surprising news. So we ended the series by telling you about a lawsuit that is trying to make public New Hampshire's secret list of cops with credibility issues. Well, last Friday, October 30th, the state Supreme Court issued a ruling in that case. And usually the court takes months to issue a decision, but this time it only took them 6 weeks. And so, of course, we had to come back in your feeds to give you the update. So I'm here with reporter and host of The List, Jason Moon. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Lauren. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. So listeners may remember that this lawsuit, it was brought by the ACLU of New Hampshire and a bunch of local news outlets, including, of course, one led by Nancy West, who we got to know in episode 1. So they were arguing that the public should be able to see the Laurie list. And listeners, remember, this is a secret list of 270 or so cops with credibility issues. And so then on Friday, we found out that the Supreme Court ruled in Nancy's favor, right? So can we now see the Laurie list? Like, do we finally know who's on it?
No.
Oh.
We still don't know who's on the Laurie list, but the ruling, it's a step in that direction. It's a step closer to knowing who's on it.
What do you mean?
Well, the court ruled, importantly, that at least in theory, the Laurie list is a public document, which is a big deal. The Laurie list has been just confidential, secret, full stop for many, many years. And so it's a big step. And what they did was they rejected an argument by the state that the list was exempt from New Hampshire's public records law, what we here call the right to know law. And this is, you and I both know, a law that is designed to give the public access to government documents and records so, we can see what the government is up to. It gives the public a right to know. And the state was trying to say that the Laurie list just was not subject to that law, to the right to know law. But the court, it didn't go for that. They said the list is subject to the right to know law. It is a public document.
Okay, but wait, so if it's subject to right to know, why can we still not see it?
Well, even within the right to know law, there are exemptions for what kind of government records can be made public. Again, you and I both know, we can request, say, emails sent by state employees to each other, but we can't, make a public records request for someone's medical records. So that's one exemption. And another exemption has to do with whether the release of government records would amount to a, quote, invasion of privacy.
Well, right, but who decides if something is an invasion of privacy?
Well, ultimately, it's up to the courts. And in this particular case, the state Supreme Court is sending the case back down a level to let a lower court judge decide if the release of the Laurie list would be an invasion of privacy for the officers whose names are on it. And so this judge will do what they call a balancing test. They're going to balance 3 competing interests: the public's interest in seeing the list, the government's interest in keeping it confidential, and the individual officer's interest in keeping it confidential. And so it's a lot of discretion for this one judge.
Huh. Well, I mean, do we have any clues as to where the judge might come down after that test? Like, how long do you think we'll have to wait until there's more news?
Obviously we can't say with any certainty how things are going to turn out. And clearly we're kind of bad at anticipating when the decisions are going to come down. But, I do think we can say with some safety here that the legal landscape around these issues in New Hampshire is beginning to change. And just even within the last few months and few days, some stuff has happened that has a bearing on this. So there's a couple of Supreme Court rulings from just the past few months that have weakened that confidentiality around police personnel files in New Hampshire. They're no longer categorically exempt, automatically exempt from the right to know laws. And then just last week, the Union Leader newspaper, they were able to get some documents from an internal affairs investigation into an officer who was found to have sent racist text messages. And just the fact that we're able to see some of the documents from that internal affairs investigation is a real milestone in itself. I mean, we just usually cannot get a look at that kind of stuff. And so, we talked a lot in the podcast about how the confidentiality of police misconduct files in New Hampshire, it's been a given for so many years. We're seeing that change now, even just within the past few weeks. And if this lower court judge rules on the Laurie list that the public's interest in seeing it outweighs the officers' privacy interests, then that will really be kind of a new era for police accountability in the state.
Well, we'll certainly keep everyone updated no matter what happens. So thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Lauren.
And thanks to you for listening to this quick update on The List. And of course, stay subscribed for more.
From PRX.